C. Grimes 1. Alright, hey guys. Hello, welcome to episode I don't even know anymore. And today I want to just briefly talk about execution because I was actually yesterday came across a good valid point. One of my friends actually talks about how he deals with procrastination and overwhelming, like for example, he runs a business and he got asked the question, how do you handle all the stuff you read? How do you handle all the articles, all the books you read? Like if you read a book, he's really into self-development. And if you read a book about self-development and you read about like all these things you can do, all these things you can change, how do you not get overwhelmed with that? How do you stay productive during your day-to-day? How do you not like get overwhelmed? And it's not more of a question about being overwhelmed. It's more of like how do you process all of this information if you're constantly learning? So what he does, and this I believe trickles into everything else that you do in life. What he does after he reads a book, after he reads an article, whatever it may be, what he does is he tries to incorporate it. He tries to incorporate one concept that he learned into his work, into whatever he's doing, into his projects, into his business, etc. Right? Instead of like trying to learn everything, trying to remember everything from a book, because I read a lot of books. I don't know about you. I don't know if you read a lot of books. Whoever's listening, I don't know if you read a lot of books, but I mean, you can't remember everything in a book, right? So the most important thing is execution. Take one concept from that book, take one concept from that article, and just execute on it. Incorporate it into your work, into your day-to-day life. And what will happen is, by executing, number one, you're going to learn way faster than you would if you just read books all day. And two, you're going to get the hands-on wisdom, experience, grit that comes with learning things. Whatever it is, if you're running a business, if you're trying to learn a skill, execution is far more better. It beats perfection every single time. Execution, taking action, doing something, even if you don't know. And this is the hardest part that I've had to grapple with my entire life, is when you don't know the next step, take a step anyway. And I know it's really weird, or it might feel hard to do. It might sound easy, like sitting here talking about it. In theory, it sounds easy. Oh, you don't know what to do, just do something. Yeah, it's easy to say, but when you're in the grit, like in the thick of it, like I don't know what you've done in your life or what you're trying to do, but when I'm trying to start a business, I've been overwhelmed with all the things that I could do. Like, for example, marketing. I could do a million things to market one of my businesses, right? So instead of saying, oh man, I have like 100,000 things I can do, what do I do, blah, 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 and then I get overwhelmed. When you get stuck, when you get overwhelmed with anything in your life, take a step, do something. And when I mean do something, I mean like action. Don't strategize, don't make a plan, don't think, like do something, like action-wise. That doesn't count. Thinking doesn't count, strategizing doesn't count, debating doesn't count, talking about it doesn't count. Do something. Physically move yourself forward. And if you don't know the next step, that's okay. Because it's easier to take a step and do something, take a step forward and do something, and then look back on it and analyze what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, if it's working, if it's not working, where you're going to go from there. Because it's far easier, and this is applied to every single aspect of my life. Learning instruments, learning languages, running businesses, everything. If you take a step in some kind of direction, rather than being inside your head, locked inside your head, thinking and strategizing about something, it's going to clear your mind. It clears your mind. And it's easier to look at something concrete in the real world and build on it and develop it and flesh it out than it is to do it all in your head before you've even started. So that's my tip for today. That's my advice. This has been another episode of Eccentric Minds. I'm going to try to keep these short. I don't know how long this is, but yeah. Until next time, thanks for listening.